going on with me in my professional life. The problem is I took a job. I really didn't know like what the details would be, what I was gonna be doing. I kind of knew what I was gonna be doing, but I took it because I really was desperate. I was desperate because I wanted to get money. I wanted to be a PA. I wanted to like increase my income, but at the same time, I'm making really, really good money as a nurse. Like I'm making like 11 grand a month previously before I started the job. So I'm thinking like, okay, if I start the job, the requirements was like I would work 2 years. They would pay for my DEA license and also pay for my Medicare license, which I didn't even know I had to get. I was learning stuff as I went with this new position. So the new position was in internal medicine with geriatric care. Even in school, I never was a fan of internal medicine or geriatric care. I never was a fan of clinic work. I was more interested in trauma. I did 3 rotations in trauma. I did Harlem Emergency Department. I did Harlem Surgical ICU, which dealt with a lot of neurosurgical consults, plastic surgery, reconstructives, like all kind of stuff. So I really didn't like the fact that I got this job, but I tried to, have my mind open and feel like, oh, okay, this may be something I can do. Let me try it. I don't want to knock it until I try it. So I tried it. The pay was $30 a patient. I was at one nursing home, which really didn't have a lot of skilled patients, but it had like more long term. You seeing urgent care visits, any problems come up, which was fine. I was probably just getting like 10 patients a day or less sometimes, but I was covering at another nursing home called Christopher House, and it was more like a rehab facility. So I was getting more over there, like 30 patients on Tuesday. So that really boosted my income with the regulatory visas. But even if you see all those patients at $30 a patient, you'll have to see at least 10 patients a day to make at least $300. And I was a nurse, so I was making more than $300 a day. The only good thing about it was the flexibility. Like I could work from home. And then also I was taking call. I was taking call on the weekend and 11 to 7. And the call pay for the whole month was $200, and on the weekend it was $80 a weekend. Okay, I didn't discuss this pay before we started. I was told another pay, but soon after it was changed, or I understood wrong. I don't know how it was misconstrued, but it was trash. And you really can't work as a nurse and do on call because you need to be focused on who calling you, what's the case. And me being new, I have to look up everything. Like I have to see like what's going on with the patient. Looking on Up to Date, which is like a encyclopedia resource for healthcare professionals, and they give you like a whole step-by-step protocol. Is this going on? Yes or no? Flow chart, and then you go down and it just tell you like what to do based off what the symptoms are, what the lab work is, blah blah blah. So I tried, y'all. I even got a job at UMass after the fact, and I told the lady that my attendant and my manager that I was going to stay there and try to work with her anyway. So she just basically was like, oh, if you're gonna be taking this job, the credentialing process isn't going to be finished here. So UMass, which is a big hospital, is going to be like more better at credentialing. So they pretty much gonna take over the process. And then when I see a patient, if I bill, it's probably gonna go to UMass. It was just a lot of confusion. So I was just like, basically, let me just try to work my 30 days. Then they want the DEA license fee, which is $885, and then they wanted the Medicare licensing fee back, which is $870. I don't even know how much it was because I didn't pay for it. They paid for it with their credit card. The DEA license fee, I submitted my receipt, so I know how much that was, which no problem. I agreed to that. So they let me know 48 hours before I got paid that they was gonna be taking a massive amount of money out of my check the next 48 hours. Okay, that's fine. But when I started this job, I didn't realize that I was gonna have to have my income cut at 50% a month. I can live off 50% a month, but I'm not used to living off 50% of my income a month. I'm used to making like $10,000 or $11,000 a month, whereas I was cut down to $5 grand. And it was taking up more time because I was having to spend more time with patients. And instead of having like my regular 8-hour shift with 18 patients and getting paid $400 or $500, I was having to see a large volume of 30 patients, and I'm only getting $30 a patient. So, and those 30 patients take me 2 days to chart on. It's 2024. People really don't have time to be like wasting on not making money. We have to make money as we go. So chicken is high, gas is high, everything is high. We have to, you don't have a 2-week notice. Like in 2 weeks, I'm gonna be homeless. In 2 weeks, my kid is gonna need food. Like I don't have 2 weeks. So I had to quit immediately. I was suffering. I was emotionally suffering, financially suffering. My husband was suffering too, because every time the phone rang in the middle of the night, not only did it wake me up, it was waking him up. And for $200, I could twerk his ass and get money from my husband for $200 a month. But the only thing I did learn a lot with this doctor, she was great. She was a great person, but I really just don't think that, as far as the business aspect, I didn't like the business part. My check was late consistently, late notices on things, like, but they want me to be so prestige and spectacular, but I wasn't receiving it on my end. So I didn't feel like it was worth it. I really didn't. I know that it's bad to put a notice in and quit immediately, but at that point, it was an emergency for me, like a real emergency. I can't just make $2,000 every 2 weeks. That's not gonna work for me. My standards are here, and that's where I'm keeping it at. So for everybody that's wondering about like starting a new job, make sure that you ask these questions and get it in the contract. I had a contract, but it was nothing specific in there. It was nothing like telling you XYZ. Not even in the contract did it say that they was gonna ask me to work there for 2 years, or they was gonna ask for the money back, which I'm cool with. They can have the money back, and I'm sorry, but I have to do what's best for Dana and my family, because my family was suffering too. If my daughter asks me for something and I'm telling her mommy's on a budget because of a new job, and I've been in school 8 years, but she already been suffering because of those 8 years. When I come out of school, they expecting me to be making money. Like they expecting me to be me going more, not lower. So I just couldn't do it. I'm sorry to everybody that was affected. I really am. But I was being a little selfish. I was being selfish to myself. But I also think they was being selfish. They was being selfish to themselves too, for paying me $30 and $200 a month for being on call 25 days out the month. So it is what it is. They probably don't like me no more. I don't care. This is the first time I ever did something like this, but I'm glad I did. I really am. I'm much happier. I'm looking forward to the future, and that's going to address that issue. And furthermore, I feel like for me, a 2 weeks notice is not gonna work. Even if I own my own business, I'm not going to make my employee put a 2 weeks notice in. Because if my employee comes to me and say, oh, I'm not feeling like this is a good fit, I'm gonna say you can leave. Like, I don't even want to talk to you no more. It's nothing to talk about. Basically, you telling me that you don't want to be here. I'm not holding you against your will. Like, if you told me you don't like it, that's fine. I will survive. I've been surviving. I'm not gonna try to persuade you into something that you telling me that you don't like, because at the end of the day, I'm not you. I don't know how you feel. You have to respect people's decision. If they decide to do something, you have to respect the fact that they're gonna do that, and it's nothing you can do about it. Every individual is created in their own way, and that's what makes us unique. That's what makes us unique. So I'm literally sitting in downtown Boston. I'm basically going to the Wailers concert tonight. I came down to Boston today to get my passport. My passport, as you saw in my last vlog, was filed for and urgent because I couldn't find my passport. I looked everywhere for it, couldn't find it. So I came to Boston. I checked my bag at a luggage place. It was pretty cool. I paid for it online and I went. I'm really not feeling that black eyeliner. Face is full good. These are some good washes. Rice Water Bright. I have this same face wash at home. I use it on my face a lot. I went to TJ Maxx and I was like trying to buy stuff. I was like, oh my God, I picked up $46 worth of stuff. No ma'am, you will be taking that back. Not doing it. I'm not doing it. Like, I'm not gonna be spending my money on unnecessary stuff. I got these because this was the most I needed. That's all I really needed. I'm kind of on like a pink lip, so let's see. It's really not pink. It's more like fuchsia. Christmas, but I hope it will be soon. I went to TJ Maxx. I think I want to go back. I want to get that necklace, and it's so bright over here. It's just plain, like